DreAllDay.com.
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day, to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you got to use those personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And we put all this together into one bundle, one package, one mindset, one method, one philosophy, one book, one show, one daily masterclass. That is what you're listening to right now. Some of y'all call this a podcast. This is a masterclass, and it is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic, I'm gonna give you some lessons from DJ Khaled. Yes, DJ Khaled. Now, Khaled is not here on the show today, but I'm gonna give you some lessons from what I have observed from Mr. Khaled. That is his actual name, Khaled. And I saw that his album came out. Everybody knows who DJ Khaled is, right? If you don't know who DJ Khaled is, then go on Snapchat or Instagram or just Google him real quick so you have an idea who he is. DJ Khaled is a musical artist, and we're going to get into that. And the term could be used loosely, but he's a musician. He's in the music industry. He puts albums out, and he just recently had an album come out, and it was either late April, early May. And I remember when the album came out, I was actually excited to listen to it to see what was going to be on the album, even though I knew personally that that Khaled himself was not going to be doing any of the actual musical performances. I knew all he was going to do is scream his ad-libs over the tracks. And he screams his name on the tracks, and he has some other ad-libs that he has branded, basically. So why did I care so much about the DJ Khaled album? Well, I'm going to tell you why today, while at the same time, I'm going to share what you can learn from DJ Khaled and how it can actually help you in your business and in your career and in your life, even if you're not a musician, even if you don't like DJ Khaled's music, even if you're not into rap, even if you're not in the entertainment industry, you can learn some things from DJ Khaled. So I'm going to give you some keys, some major keys from DJ Khaled. Now, before we get into this, I'm going to remind you or inform you that I have a text line where I want you to text me and tell me the most valuable thing you get from the show, or a question that you have about something that I said on the show, or something you disagree with, whatever you want to share. My number is 305-384-6894. Again, 305-384-6894. Text me and tell me what is on your mind based on what you hear from today's episode. So let's get into it now. Major keys that you will learn from DJ Khaled. Point number one, DJ Khaled brings the energy. I had told you in many times here on this show that energy is 99% of the job in life, or we could at least say 85% of the job in life, many times 99%. But I told you in episode number 1680, most recently, how to will yourself into a good space and run on your own energy. In episode 1572, how to manage your frustrations and direct your energy strategically. Episode 1528, how to cultivate and maintain positive energy. Episode 1373, how to change your energy. Episode 1216, your energy is more important than your skill. Episode 1196, channeling your energy. Episode 1087, how to have energy that attracts good things to you. Episode 1050, how to be the supplier of energy. And I got a bunch more on the topic of energy. I'm not even going to list them all. But if you just go to workonyourgamepodcast.com, you can listen to every episode in the history of this show, by the way, if you didn't already know. DJ Khaled, one of the major keys of DJ Khaled's success, and the fact that he is known, the fact that all of you know exactly who he is, even if you don't listen to his music, is that DJ Khaled brings the energy. He gets people excited about everything that he does. That is a skill. Getting people excited is a skill, folks. Remember that anytime you're trying to sell something in life, and we are all salespeople, people buy off emotion and they justify that emotion with logic. Excitement is an emotion. Now, that causes people to buy. Even if it logically doesn't make sense, people will buy based off that excitement. DJ Khaled knows how to get people excited, and that is why he's able to sell himself and sell his work. This is not to be overlooked. This is something that you actually need in your life, is an ability to get people excited about something. Energy, as I told you, 85% of the job. Khaled has never been short of that. This is undeniable. Even if you hate DJ Khaled, you think he's a complete idiot, you can agree that the guy has the energy. That energy is a big part of his second professional level skill. The first professional level skill is his energy. Let's move into the second one. Today's topic, once again, major keys that you can and should take and learn from DJ Khaled. Number two professional level skill DJ Khaled has his ability to build relationships. What do I mean when I'm talking about building relationships? Well, first of all, let me tell you, episode 231, I told you how to build relationships before you need them. And episode number 1694, how to do your own public relations. DJ Khaled pretty much does his own public relations. Episode number 1489, relationship building principles. Episode 1439, the key to building relationships being putting the time in. Episode 1260, people skills that will improve interpersonal relations immediately. Episode 1234, relationships, stop keeping score. So DJ Khaled, one of the best skills that he has is his ability to network and build these relationships and maintain relationships. DJ Khaled's picture, honestly, could be next to networking in the dictionary. And why do I say that? Why am I giving such praise to his ability to network? Well, let me ask you a question. For those of you who are not familiar with DJ Khaled, understand that he is not, he's not a musician. He doesn't do any vocals. He is not that much of a DJ, so to speak. He's not like mixing and scratching records. He is not even a producer like that. He doesn't produce most of the songs that he puts out that he has his name on. So what exactly is DJ Khaled's role in this whole situation? What DJ Khaled actually is, he's kind of like the head of a mastermind. That's what he does. He masterminds to put his albums together because he goes and finds the people who do the vocals, who do the rapping and do the singing. He finds the producers who actually produce the tracks, and then he goes out and he just promotes it. He slaps his name on it, and then he goes out and he promotes it. That's what DJ Khaled does. He is actually the head of a mastermind. So how does a guy who doesn't do vocals and doesn't produce, how does he get Jay-Z, Beyonce, Lil Wayne, Drake, Cardi B, Lil Baby, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, and whatever other popular artists there is out there? How does he get all of these artists to make entire songs to go on his album? Now, I get if you get Jay-Z to make a song for Jay-Z's album, but how do you get Jay-Z to make a song for your album? DJ Khaled is able to do this because he knows people and people know him. DJ Khaled has relationships. And I've told you many times that you can get a lot more done in life through and with other people than you will ever be able to do on your own by yourself. For all we know, DJ Khaled may have zero musical talent whatsoever. I don't know how much musical talent DJ Khaled has because I've never seen him make any music. But he's great at music at the same time. He makes great music at the same time, rather, even though I don't know what musical skill he has. So how is that possible? It's through his relationships. He's able to bring this person, put them together. They make a great song. DJ Khaled puts his name on it, and he gets the credit for it. All right, that is a skill. And again, any of you who's listening to this right now, I mean, this is a show called Work on Your Game. If you embrace the work on your game mentality, you probably understand putting in the work, putting in the time, being disciplined, believing in yourself, being mentally tough, keep trying, keep grinding, keep hustling. I understand all of that, and those are all good things to do, but understand there's only so much you'll be able to get done by yourself. There's only so far you can go on your own because there are skills that you don't have, there are people that you don't know, and you only got 2 hands, 2 eyes. There's only so much you can do at one time, and 2 legs. There's only so much you can do at once. But when you're able to mastermind and get a bunch of other people with different skills to all work together at the same time for the mutual benefit of everybody, then a lot more gets done a lot faster. DJ Khaled has mastered this. There's a professional level skill that he has in building relationships, and that's how he's able to make great music while we have no idea. The jury is still out on how much musical talent DJ Khaled actually has. We will never know because he doesn't make any music, but he makes great music at the same time. Point number 3, today's topic once again, major keys that you can and will and should learn from DJ Khaled. Number 3, DJ Khaled has a framework for what he does. Now, I just explained briefly what his framework is, that he masterminds up and gets musical artists who have the vocal skills and the producers who have the producing skills, puts them together. He does the promotion and the marketing, and that matters a lot. So the promotion and marketing is not something to be overlooked. He brings the excitement to do the promotion and marketing to make those songs, which are great songs, but otherwise would be collecting dust and nobody knew about them. He gets everybody excited about the songs through his energy, and then the artist benefits, the producer benefits, because DJ Khaled got all the people, the consumers, me and you, to go listen to the song because of the energy that he brought to it. All right, how good the rap was and how good the production was, we would never know unless we listened to the song. Only reason we listen to the song is because DJ Khaled got us excited to go see what it is that he keeps hyping up and talking about. DJ Khaled's framework, that's part of his framework. But I explain frameworks also. Let me give you the episode where I talked about frameworks so you can go listen to that episode yourself. I gave you a 4-step framework. This is an example for promoting your stuff and getting attention. DJ Khaled probably listened to this episode. That was episode 1760. I also explained to you the point story application framework in episode 1739. I explained the work on your game framework in episode 1592. So that's 3 examples. And then in episode 1440, I explained the general concept of frameworks. How you organize your knowledge. You organize what you can do or organize what you're good at, and you put it into a streamlined process that you can follow over and over and over again. So if you haven't listened to those 4 episodes, make sure you go check those. And again, the links to all of those are down below in the show notes, everything that I reference here. The definition of a framework is an essential supporting structure of a building, vehicle, or object. That's what a framework is. Work on your game is a Dre Baldwin framework. Just do it is a Nike framework. Intuitive, sleekly designed, and user-friendly products. That's a framework of who? Apple. That's their framework. DJ Khaled's framework, in addition to what I talked about in points 1 and 2, include, there's some other things that, and again, that definition of framework does not necessarily mean that you have to write a book or you have to have a podcast. A framework is just a supporting structure of what you do. Is a structure that supports what you do, and you can do it over and over and over again because the structure is in place. So DJ Khaled's framework, getting artists and producers together to make music that goes on his album, and then he goes out and promotes it. So he does the marketing, the artist does the vocals, the producer does the production. That is part of DJ Khaled's framework. Being his own hype man, his energy, like we talked about in point number 1, that is part of his framework. Always having a positive message for his audience, no matter how mundane it may be or how non-profound it is always a positive message. That's part of his framework, because you know that's what you're going to get when you listen to him. Getting people excited about whatever he's doing or whatever he's paying attention to. That is part of DJ Khaled's framework. Showing off his children at every opportunity. Part of his framework. Making you laugh even when he's being serious. That is part of his framework. Understanding a framework need not be a slogan or a catchphrase, but DJ Khaled has those too. What catchphrases did DJ Khaled have? Another one. Bless up. Don't ever play yourself. Major key. What are those? Those are all slogans and catchphrases that DJ Khaled has. You know them. As soon as you hear them, you know it's DJ Khaled. But you don't have to have a catchphrase or a slogan to have a framework. What a framework is a way of organizing your offering such that it and you become synonymous. Frameworks are a shortcut through the noise of everything else going on in the world, because the framework makes you and what you do easy to remember. That's DJ Khaled's skill. You remember another one. You remember major key. You remember don't ever play yourself. Whenever you hear those, you know that someone has either heard or they're referring to DJ Khaled. You know it immediately as soon as you hear it. That is what a framework looks and sounds like. If I say just do it, you know we're talking about Nike. If someone says work on your game, hopefully people know you're talking about Dre Baldwin. Those are frameworks that they are connecting two things together, and they're easy to remember, which means you can cut through the noise of everything else going on in the world and everything else trying to distract people on their smartphones when you have these frameworks in place. And the other thing that a framework does, or another thing that a framework does, another one, is that you can use it over and over and over and over again and produce similar results. That's the great thing about a framework. This show right here, Work on Your Game, you see the framework that I do every episode in. I explain it. I tell you what the topic. I introduce myself first of all, and I tell you the 4-part Working Your Game framework. Then I tell you who I am. Then I introduce the topic. Then I do a little introduction of the topic. Then I do what? Point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. And when I'm done, what do? Let's recap the points. Point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. Every single time. I've done it for 2,000 days in a row. That is a framework. Over and over and over and over again, the exact same thing. And what does it do? It produces the exact same result. That is what a framework is. When you take someone's online course, they are giving you their framework. When someone does a group coaching program, there's a framework. When someone has some kind of process that they teach or process that they sell, they are giving you their framework. This is the process. When you follow this process, you will start with this situation. You will end up with this outcome. That is a framework. Like I know people who teach other people how to write their own books. That's a framework. Or people who help you organize your business. That's a framework. People who will show you, hey, here's how you get 6-pack abs in 12 weeks. That is a framework. As long as they work, they are explaining to you, I'm going to show you the structure that I've created that will produce X results in this much time with this much input. That is a framework. DJ Khaled has a framework. He may not call it a framework, And it may be a loose framework, depending on how you look at it, but it is indeed a framework because he does it over and over and over again. And that's how he built a reputation. That's how he has a brand. A brand is something that people know you for. People can't know you for something unless you continually do it. And as Socrates said, or maybe it was Aristotle that said it, you are what you repeatedly do. DJ Khaled is repeatedly doing the things that I'm going to lay out here as we recap today's topic, which is major keys that you can learn from DJ Khaled. Point number one, the guy brings the energy. DJ Khaled's energy is what gets people excited about him, is what draws attention to him. Understand that you don't even have to be smart at what you do. You don't have to be good at what you do. You don't even have to have a long track record with what you do. If you have energy, people will be attracted to you because energy is 85% of the job in life. DJ Khaled is a great example. You want to learn what it looks like to have energy consistently around your work that draws people to you, even if they might not even like your stuff. Watch DJ Khaled on Snapchat or Instagram or wherever he happens to be. This guy always brings the energy. And this is not something to be overlooked. Energy is 85% of the job in life. It is undeniable he has the energy. And because he has that energy, he's able to, point number two, build relationships. DJ Khaled's picture could be next to networking in the dictionary. How does a guy who doesn't even do vocals get Jay-Z and Beyonce and Lil Wayne and Drake and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and Rihanna and Justin Bieber to give songs to his album? How does he do that? How does a guy who doesn't even produce get producers to produce songs for his album? The reason he's able to do this is because DJ Khaled builds relationships. His energy makes people want to be around him. When you have great energy, people want to be around you. They are attracted to you. And then you're able to build relationships with them. You're able to network with them. You can get them to do things for and with you that they would never do for or with you if you didn't have that kind of energy. So this is a talent stack, like Scott Adams would talk about. When you take certain skills and you stack them together, this is how you're able to create certain outcomes. So relationships is a big part of DJ Khaled's talent stack. You get a lot more done with other people than you can all by yourself. DJ Khaled may be a very talented musician, but we will never know because he doesn't make any music. He gets people who already have the talent, and he puts it together. He supplies the energy, so everybody's getting something, everybody's giving something. Relationships. Point number three, DJ Khaled has a framework. I explained frameworks in episode 14, 40, and the other episodes I mentioned. Scroll down to the show notes and you'll see all those. You can listen to them directly. Definition of a framework is an essential supporting structure of a building, vehicle, or object. I have a framework called Work on Your Game, and I got several others. Just Do It is a Nike framework. Sleekly Designed Products is an Apple framework. DJ Khaled's framework is bring the energy, build relationships, put out music with his name on it, even though you know he's not the one making the music, and you're going to enjoy it. That is his framework. In addition to that, he has being his own hype man, always having a positive message, getting people excited, showing off his kids, making you laugh when he's trying to be serious. A framework doesn't have to be a slogan. It doesn't have to be a catchphrase, though Khaled has those. Another one is a framework. Major Key is a framework. Bless Up is a framework. Don't ever play yourself. That's a framework. A framework is a way of organizing your offering such that it and you become synonymous. Frameworks are a shortcut through the noise because they make you and what you offer easy to remember. And DJ Khaled is a memorable person because he has these frameworks in place. Now, again, I don't know if DJ Khaled did all these things strategically. I don't know if he's even familiar with the concept of frameworks. Hopefully he's listening to this podcast. But these are major keys that you can learn from DJ Khaled. Even if you don't like his music, these are things that you need to be using in your own business and in your own work to draw attention to them. And you're able to get what you need to get in order for you to do what you need to do and serve who you need to serve. Now, I want you to send me a text and tell me the most valuable insight, the best thing you learned, what is the best thing that you got from today's masterclass. My number is 305-384-6894. Once again, 305-384-6894. Work on your game. Dre all day. Another one.